You have it together too. What's your secret? What's the recipe? I don't know.
I don't know. I probably don't have it all together either. Thankfully, James will not watch this for a long time. The Tooth Fairy forgot to visit last night because someone was a little too busy. Comes into the room. It's like, the Tooth Fairy didn't visit.
Let's talk tales. Today's guest is a media professional, certified teacher, extremely talented actress that I personally love working with, and the founder of a brand based on a truly legendary and one of my most favorite comedies, Anchorman. The brand is StayClassyTV, which specializes in promoting brands to the public through digital content creation, powerful marketing strategies, artificial intelligence, and public relations. If she wasn't busy enough, she has the StayClassyTV Academy, helping kids, teens, and young adults develop their own on-camera persona and learn what it takes to become a superstar, both in front of the camera or behind the scenes. It's the amazing Lisa Acquafredda.
Taylor, thank you. You're going to make me blush. I feel like I'm going to blush. It was so super kind.
Awesome.
Very nice of you. Superstar. I like it.
Thank you. I had to, you already had the Anchorman, so now I'm all in movie mode and everything.
You
So
gotta
tell
get
me-
it in there.
Yeah, gotta get it in there. So another Will Ferrell appearance. Yes. So tell me the tale of you watching Anchorman and then saying, I'm going to create a whole brand based on staying classy.
I have to be straight up about this. It wasn't any the light bulb went off and there it is. I had been thinking for a while, and this is circa 2000 something, 2004-ish maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I knew I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to stop always working for other people and kind of, take the leap of faith and do it myself. And I remember I was just honestly playing some drinking games, having some wine and
Nice.
relaxing. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's a movie I like? We were talking about movies.
Yeah.
I was with an old roommate, and you came up, Anchorman. That's a fun one,
Yeah. I
And
love
was
man.
Stay classy, San Diego. I'm ready for a vacation. I like San Diego. And then it was dun dun dun. Stay classy. Wait, TV,
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it was born.
Nice.
So just very natural and organic.
Lovely. And you already had talent with being in front of the camera because you've had a slew of history of being a host and being an actress. So tell me the tale that first got you in front of the camera. Were you one of those kids that were just always on stage and always performing?
I was that 3-year-old that line up all my Barbie dolls. And have them do a little runway show, and then I would have my my hairbrush in hand, and this is so and so Barbie, and here's Skipper over here, and she's going around doing this and da da da. So it's kind of MC in the making.
Okay.
They manifested to reporter to anchor, and I don't know what it was. I was just enthralled, and I loved Diane Sawyer. She's my idol.
Yeah,
Growing
nice.
up, most kids are I want a, strawberry shortcake, or, I'm whatever, what was cool back then, right?
I don't know. Oprah still is up there always,
She's an OG, right?
Right.
But yeah, something about it. I just always loved Diane Sawyer as a little girl.
Wow, yeah.
Probably at my daughter's age now.
Nice.
So it just kind of manifested, and I always knew that was my path. So I did the morning announcements.
Mm-hmm.
So my good
Nice.
girlfriends, we go on girls' trips, and they're like, we still remember you in middle school. You were a
That's
little
cute.
morning anchor. And then I went on to high school, same thing. And I took it really serious. I was also on the newspaper staff. So I was the anchor and then part of the newspaper staff. So I kind of knew that was always my calling.
Okay.
And I just followed the path.
So what do you enjoy more? Because we've had the pleasure of working a lot with you as an on-camera spokesperson. So speaking about things that you don't necessarily know about, which can be fun and exciting sometimes. So what do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy doing the host show? Do you enjoy being a spokesperson? Or do you enjoy, acting like your family is going to a car dealership and, getting your car done?
Great question. I would say I love telling stories about people and sharing their story, whatever that is. It's about the people. So I've always kind of thought about that. You can work for any client. It can be any type of capacity. as long as you're like doing something positive and you're getting out a story about whatever that person is, if it's a brand, if it's even teaching kiddos, it's whatever, it's like just trying to make a difference. So instead of just, if it bleeds, it leads in the news business, right? Like, that was like too much for me. It's just the positivity. I always enjoyed that.
Nice.
And I honestly love anchor reads.
Okay.
Just like spokesperson, anchor reads, kind of do with you guys. It's actually kind of one of my favorites.
All right. Well, that's good that you enjoy doing it, because we enjoy working with you.
Working with you guys.
Yeah, that is excellent. So tell me what made you decide to, like, you already had the Stay Classy TV brand, but that doesn't necessarily mean let's make an academy out of it. Like, what made you decide to do the academy?
So I was a K through 12 certified teacher. So when I went to college, I did both. I had education. And then I also was broadcast journalism.
Okay.
And my mom, powerhouse mom, give her the shout out. Okay.
Whoop, whoop, Mom.
Mama Miriam out there. She was so big in education and she owned her own tutoring business. So she went from like powerful educator and like did this. She started a Spanish program, all of this cool stuff. Crazy, amazing resume. And I watched her growing up, and then she kind of did the transition to owning her own business and kind of doing it out of the house. And I was like, I like that. So honestly, from a really early age, I always wanted to morph both of them together. I knew I wanted to teach, and I knew that I wanted to go on the broadcasting path. I always knew that. So in college, I did both. So I was K through 12 certified teacher. And I also have certification like for special needs, the whole 9 yards.
Nice.
So I knew that was there. And then it wasn't until kind of a little bit later, now it's probably like 15 plus years, that I added the new branch of Stay Classy TV Academy. That was kind of, down the line. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. What am I doing here? I'm not going to work for anyone else.
Yeah.
Why do I keep teaching other people?
Yeah.
I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I can do this. And then I took the leap of faith and it was successful.
Nice. So tell me, you do both in front of the camera and behind the camera training. And so what are some of the like age groups? Because I know we mentioned like kids, teens, maybe young adults. So what are the prime age groups that you feel, really do well in the academy?
Okay, so for starters, just to clarify, Stay Classy TV Academy is basically teaching both in front of the camera and behind the scenes.
Yes.
And I start from our littles, age 1, all the way to seniors now.
Oh, wow.
So like I have the gamut.
Okay.
So I would say it's not as much about what ages do well. It's about the time of day I'm teaching, where I'm teaching, and like what studio or what place.
Okay.
So I have like some of my preschool programs that are just uber awesome and they do really, really well. And that's toddler fantasy fairy tales. So it's literally just imaginative. It's crazy cute. Exploration, imagination, creativity, learning to be poised, just starting off with speaking skills, the basics in a super fun and exciting way. So I kind of like dig in those important like academic skills, but on a littles mindset. And then all the way to our seniors, which is so positive because those are skills that they need to practice too. It's positive for, on if they have, dementia or anything showing, just to be able to go out and do those public speaking skills. And honestly, sometimes it's really just about fun too.
Yeah.
It's having a good time and enjoying it. I have an adult class. I have, oh my goodness, my 9-year-olds, like 9, 10, 11, like kind of the tween ages. They do really well in YouTube stars. Everyone wants a slime channel. Just saying. So that does really well. So it is literally about reaching the student who maybe has an interest in it. Maybe they don't.
Okay.
Maybe they just want to be behind the scenes, or maybe their mom and dad just signed them up for the class and they realize, wait, this is kind of fun. I can do this. I can tell a story.
So what would you say are some attributes, if a parent wanted to sign their child up for one of your classes, are there certain, characteristics or personality styles that you like to look for in someone who could be good, in front or behind the camera?
Great question. So I get like both sides of the equation, right? I get the gamut. I get the straight up like momager who wants their kid just to be on every commercial and like my kid is ready for movies. Let's go straight to Hollywood and we're there, right? Dance mom all the way. So that's on the left side. And then I get the right side. Like my child is so scared in class. I'm worried they're not like social skills. They're not wanting to speak. They're so quiet. Maybe this will get them out of their shell.
Right.
And both do amazing.
Okay.
So sometimes we get the kiddo who really does want to be in front of the camera. And then we also get the kiddo who's like, oh my gosh, no, I don't want to be on camera. Like super shy. And that's okay because they can take their time and on their comfort level, they'll start to do it at their own, like on their own speed. And sometimes those kids enjoy it the most.
Wow. And then that's where you can also find the different nuances of, being behind the camera then, or, working with the boom or working with lighting.
Oh yeah. Makeup artist. Yeah. I get like stylist, I get editor, post-production. I get everything. And I welcome it all because there are so many, as you of all people understand, so many other jobs besides just being in front of the camera. And they are so crucial and just as important, if not more. So I think it's also an appreciation for everyone's job.
That's awesome.
And in fact, I don't even push it, which I think people are surprised by the first day in class. I do ask, I have 3 rules. So first rule, we're going to be kind to each other and we're going to be kind to all the equipment. And then there's no wrongs in the class and people like are looking at each other. I'm like, nope, you can ask me any question. You can ask anything, do anything. Like this is a community. We're here to learn and we're here to grow, which leads me to finally number 3, we're here to have fun.
Yes.
And then they realize they're like, oh, I don't have to be on camera. I'm like, no, you don't. If that is not your interest, I'm not going to push you in that direction.
Right.
If it happens organically, great. That's always a plus. But if it doesn't, that's okay too. And some of those students really do well.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's good to, I think with kids to never pressure them to do anything, and then if they just see others having fun, it's like, oh, okay, let me give it a chance. Yeah. And the whole point is like exploration. It's the whole point of a classroom is to have fun and explore. And I know I wish in college, I would have tried more. I feel like I didn't do the gaffing because I'm like, I know I'm not that great at it. I'm amazing at producing. Sure, let me run all this. It's like, I'll produce it. And everyone always, oh, thank you for producing. Yeah. But then I didn't have a chance to make mistakes before it mattered. So that's good that you're encouraging them to, whatever they want to do.
I am also an extracurricular teacher. So it'd be one thing if I was, like academic and I, had to meet certain standards and, let's say in a high school curriculum, I'm all completely extracurricular. So I do have that luxury to introduce students and to do it at the right pace on their comfort level because there's no grade or anything. So
right, that makes sense. So you said that you have classes around different areas. So where within the valley are your classes and how can people sign up?
Great question. So StayClassyTV Academy, selfless plug over here, StayClassyTV Academy. And I have a list of all my classes where I met. So I was also the television host for the city of Chandler for many, many years, all their fun programs. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I talk about it, but wait a minute, why am I not teaching here? And then they were like, why are you not? So I've been teaching there for a long time through the city of Chandler, town of Gilbert, ton of the preschools in the area, Girl Scout troops, Boy Scout troops, now birthday parties even.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They give little birthday shout outs. JCC, so East Valley JCC. A lot in the East Valley right now.
And then if there were other organizations that thought, wow, this is such a cool program, do you have the capacity and the desire to span out to other organizations, partner with them, provide them classes?
Yeah, I'm always open to anything. So I think it just is, it's about having a discussion and seeing if it's a good fit. And obviously if timing and schedule works too.
Excellent. Now, if someone wants to grow up and be like you, what would be some things that you would recommend people to, whether it's, acting and being on camera or just being an awesome, woman business owner and mom?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I think they could take after you too. That's a great question. I feel like it is important to work for others first. You got to get your experience. You got to go to school for it, follow that path. And then I think it's also confidence and slowly, because you want to be able to make those mistakes, right? In a safe environment because when you work for yourself, as you understand, it's like sink or swim.
Yeah.
Like you're going to go under if you can't, we don't want to
better figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. So you want to have a safe place to kind of slowly make those mistakes and fill it out and get comfortable. And then I would say, then you can take the leap of faith into entrepreneurial type of a job and area.
Okay. And then, you are also an awesome mom. So how do you juggle like being a present parent as well as being a successful business owner?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like,
that's a great honest answer. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. If you were to ask me honestly, like, I don't know how I do it every day.
Yeah.
I feel like my life is like crazy chaotic. I don't know what you see. I don't know what you see. And I don't know what you see. But like, I don't have it all together. Like, it is literally day by day. I was just driving here on my way and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Who's picking up my kid? Like, I'm with Taylor. And it's, I feel like that's something that we all just, maybe it's a mom thing. Maybe we have it together and we don't realize we have it together, but it's like really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard, right?
Yeah. I love that you're being like so honest with it and all, because I feel like everyone always wants to try to think of the smart answer. Like, I live by the calendar. Yeah. And so by living by the calendar, we're fine, right?
Yeah.
Everything's fine. But in reality, we're more like that meme with the dog and all the fires around us. This is fine, right?
It's like meme, straight meme. Like, I mean, I color code my calendar over here.
Oh,
like,
likewise,
I got it color coded. I'm organized, and guess what? Like, I don't have it together. So, like, if it looks that way, then I'm doing a good job, I guess.
Well,
but
I think on social media, we all do a decent job on it. We don't want to post the moment that I drop coffee all over my shirt. The only shirt I have for the set. We don't necessarily post when we back into our fence, when we're driving down the driveway too fast.
I think it's okay to be like authentic with that though too, right? I think there's this thing where it's like moms have to do it all now. Like you're working. You still have all the household responsibilities. You still have to like help your child, his or her homework, or if they're at that age, or taking extracurriculars for your kiddo. Now I have extracurriculars. Like I'm the teacher, so I'm like, how is that gonna go? Yeah. Food, getting them ready for the next day. Like the list literally goes on. And I don't know, but somehow I do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's about. Like we just like make magic happen. Yeah. Houdini.
I know it is. Yeah, but the fact that too, it's hard. I forget. I hate that I forget the authors of all these things I'm reading. Yeah. But it was basically saying, we always try to make excuses, but it's hard because it's hard, and that's okay.
It's like hard.
We need to be okay with when things are hard. It is hard, and not try to dilute it and go, oh, well, maybe I just don't have my stuff together. It's like no, sometimes things are just hard.
I don't know. I take it day by day. It's getting easier just because of how old she is and she's in school. But I don't know. You have it together too. What's your secret? What's the recipe? I don't know.
I don't know. I probably don't have it all together either. Thankfully, James will not watch this for a long time. The Tooth Fairy forgot to visit last night because someone was a little too busy. Comes into the room. It's like, the Tooth Fairy didn't visit. I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, you know what? Santa has one day that he focuses on that one day. Tooth Fairy, she working 24 all day, every day. My guess is she just ran out of time in her schedule. Maybe she ran out of money in her little purse. Did you want 25 cents now or $1 later? And
my gosh. And inflation for the Tooth Fairy. Like, what happened?
I know, this poor woman. And so, he's like, yeah, I would want $1 later. Okay. And of course, I just kind of feel like a horrible person because I'm just building this deep lie to my child. Just getting deeper.
Did you know the Tooth Fairy now has Venmo?
Did you know the Tooth Fairy visits when you go to school too? She doesn't only come at night.
Yeah, she's a 24/7 entrepreneurial woman.
Right.
Gotta fit it in.
So, I don't have it all together either, Sometimes the Tooth Fairy forgets that you lost a tooth. Because, come on, this is like the 4th tooth this kid's lost, and he's not even 6 yet. Like, calm down. Brush your teeth better.
We haven't even hit that point yet, but let me tell you. I know my friend's sending me these memes, my good girlfriend, and she's like, oh, now they have, like, Tooth Fairy pillow package things you put the tooth in. I'm like,
That's what we had. My mom sent me, it's a tooth that you put a little pocket in, very convenient. He even puts it next to his bedside, not even under the pillow, to make it, because I explained. I was like, the tooth fairy doesn't want to wake you up. Maybe you should put it next to your bed. Why have it under the pillow? And the fairy still didn't get to sleep till past midnight because she was working. And the tooth fairy man also was working. Yeah. And so, I'm grateful that I do a partnership. So together we do figure a lot of things out. But, the tooth fairy, I just sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, it happens, right?
Yeah,
it happens.
Yes, we're good.
I remember we were talking the last time I saw you in the fall, but like my daughter, she has her birthday. It's like all holidays. The week before, it's like her birthday. Then I have like my mom's. It's just like, it's like never ending, right? So I don't know. I think women just are amazing. Like we can just like balance it. I don't know. Maybe it's some luck.
But maybe we figure it out, and then we have some wine later.
Yeah,
and just decompress.
Reset.
Yeah, reset. Exactly. Everyone has their thing. Maybe it's the wine. Maybe it's the margarita. Maybe it's getting the nails done. Maybe it's a little bit of everything. Yeah, and that just gives that chance to reset and decompress. You got to do what you got to do sometimes. And though we both mentioned color coding calendars. I actually truly feel like if you are embarking the journey of entrepreneurship, of having a family, color coding your calendar to see when are you doing work stuff? When are you doing family, personal, fun stuff? When are you eating a meal for yourself sometimes? It's putting those things in there really gives you a realistic view of like, can I actually fit anything in here? And then I have found it helps with your energy levels. So if you see, for me, red is a video shoot, blues are meetings, greens are personal. And so if everything's like super duper red and there's no green at all, it's like, okay, next week we got to put some green in here to like balance it out.
I do 100% believe in organization. I'm actually a super organized person. If you were to ask this to my husband, he'd be like, oh my God, she's like on another level. Maybe she's OCD, I don't know. But I am very, very organized. And I do think that has something to do with, and maybe women for the most part are, but like how we balance it. I also color code my calendar. I live by it. I have my whole coloring system. And I could look back 10 years and tell you what I did today on that date. I would just pull it up electronically by the color and know what I did. Yeah. Down to like working out, like you said. I have that in there. I have personal stuff and I have the color that goes along with it, what I did, who I did the shoot for. I even put the scripts in my calendar.
Oh, nice.
It literally saves me.
So what are your color codes? What does color mean?
So pink is just like my generic stuff, right? Health stuff is blue. I have turquoise, which is work. And then I have a lighter turquoise, which is like marketing that has to do with it, work stuff that has to get done, but it may not have the dollar amount on it. Okay. That's for my accounting purposes. Yeah. Then I have orange for kind of like travel, that type of stuff. And then I have another color coded for my husband, so where he's going, and then child stuff. Yep. So yeah, it is amazing. And another like life over here, I think I have another favorite is a label maker. Ooh. I label everything. Okay. So I use my label maker all the time. So, just reach out to me, whatever the label maker system, if you need a spokesperson. All right.
Right here, label maker spokesperson.
Yes. I live by that too. Okay. So I organize all of my stuff right now. You're putting away all the seasonal items, right, from all holidays. And I have like the organized little tags on there too, because I'm realizing I go back in a year from now and I have no idea what I put in the bin. So like, do I need to buy that again or do I not? So now it's like I can just, power of technology, I can just go ahead, scan it, and I know exactly what was in that bin.
Nice.
So yeah, I do definitely think that good entrepreneurs are very organized.
Yeah. Now, do you think that you got your entrepreneurial bug from your mom? Because you mentioned earlier how you watched your mom and what she did.
My dad was an entrepreneur too. He owned a very successful, he was an architect. He owned a super successful company. I don't know, maybe a little bit of both. I also think it literally got to the point working in news, which I do appreciate, but kind of a Debbie Downer over here. But what happened in my news world is I covered 5 to 6 drownings in a week. And it just honestly was so depressing.
My goodness.
And it was so upsetting that I was like, this is like what we're going to cover the whole week. And then having to like knock on those doors to the family and just the...
Yeah. Let's pull out your trauma a little more for our ratings.
Like that's not fun.
No.
That's honestly, it's just yuck.
Yeah.
So that kind of forced me out of hard news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because you're right.
That's what it was.
If it bleeds, it leads. It's just a very
heartless.
Negative, heartless industry. Yeah.
That's what it did. And I'm like, I love telling stories. Love that part of the job. But I don't like it when it hurts somebody that much. So I started going in more of the positive realms.
And I wonder if, like, even if you didn't think about it, but I wonder if subconsciously, like, knowing your parents have successfully built things on their own, that maybe even if you didn't think about it, you're like, oh, this is possible.
100%. My dad has been so helpful, and so has my mom. And they're like my best cheerleaders. They're amazing. My mom always had a saying, she would like, get up and show the world you're Lisa, right?
Nice.
And my dad would echo it too. And so I knew that like I could do this. But at least if I fall right, I fall on my own terms. Right?
Yeah.
You're going to fall and it's like, okay, that's on you. You got to deal with it, right?
Well, you could be working, you could be having a W-9 job and then, we're just cutting positions.
And that's all that happens
and that's
now,
it.
Right? And that's what happens. So that was the other thing. It was like, you're working in news. And I was like, okay, we have enough brunettes. We only want blondes. We have a new news director and who's going to hire all their own people. Like, I was just like so sick of the politics behind it. Like, you can do amazing work, but it's not your ownership, right? It's not your thing. Even when I was teaching for other people. I was making such a difference. And a lot of the parents were coming back to me and they're like, you literally are changing my kid's life. They love you. And I'm like, really? Am I doing that? Okay. And they're like, you should just do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I probably should. Like, wait, what am I not?
Yeah.
So I think it was just, honestly, it was like my back was against the wall. And I'm like, I'm going to just do it. So if I fail on my own terms. Yeah. And I figure it out, right? Like anything else. So just get back up and I'm going to like figure it out. Some things I didn't figure out. Some things I have. A lot I have now. But I mean, I just like dealt with it.
That's awesome though. But not everyone has that confidence or the cheerleaders behind them. So I think that's
my parents are awesome.
Important, to find those people. Whether, even if it may not be your parents, you have to sometimes find that tribe or that group of people that can help you. 'Cause especially when you're first starting, it can be difficult. And so it's nice to have
really
those,
difficult.
Cheerleaders and those people behind you to support you. And so that's really good that you have that.
I mean, it's difficult even when you're successful, right? It's always like difficult.
Yeah.
But it's like pick your hard because I could pick my hard working for someone else, or I could just like pick my hard and be able to deal with my own, like it's my own destiny. So I kind of I'm like, okay, choice 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's true. It is choose your hard, pick your hard. Because like we were saying, you could have just done, the news route and just go in, day out, no real risk involved other than the rest of what they say.
Right.
Yeah, we're done with you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, now what? But at least you would choose to be done if you wanted to go a different direction, or you could focus more on the academy, or you could focus more on acting, or you could choose where those focus lies. So what would you say is like the future goal of the academy? Are you trying to train and certify other educators to be able to, help out? Or what would you say, 2030, what would be the plan?
Yes. So I would love, I'm very much like about my brand, right? So I don't even really like want to be the face
but you're so gorgeous. And like, look at those earrings. It's just like, I look like they were made for
blush. Superstar. Like you said, blush. I really want to be able to, train other people. So it is the brand. When you think of Nike, you don't think of the owner. When you think, you know what I mean? I want to get away with that. Especially because I need the flexibility for family life, which I think is really important. So I think it's kind of having other people step in and that is a little something because people are like, oh, we want Lisa. But I'm like, oh.
But if you were
be so many
certified
places.
by Lisa, if you were able to
Correct.
give them a stamp of like, these are people who've been certified, then it is an extension of you, and that's who you'd want to bring into your culture, those who would be like extensions of you.
Yeah, I think that's a direction I'm going to go into 100%.
Cool.
I am doing more at the house now, which I love, like my in-house studio. So that's something really positive. I did just add on the seniors,
which is very fun. I can imagine that
God,
just
so
being
cute.
just so lively to give them that opportunity to play.
It's amazing.
I
can't
can
even
see that.
Oh my God, it's the coolest thing in the world to see seniors who are like, we only play Mahjong and bingo.
Right.
Like, we signed up for your class. We had no idea. This is so fun. They're like, wow. And they're like, first they're really shy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're in front and they're doing a script and they're enjoying it. They're loving it. And they're like, when's the next class? I'm like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
There is nothing cooler in the world from any age than literally watching someone who did not believe in themselves walk in your class and be like, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And they can. That's the thing, they can. And then they love it. And that's what I just, I can't tell you how like good that feels.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to see that all the time. That's one of the parts I love about the education side of it, StayClassyTV Academy, is I literally get to make a difference. Mm-hmm. And we talk about it being my own business. Like, I call the shots.
Right.
So there's not like, I'm not working for anyone. I mean, it's a partnership.
Right.
But I literally teach it the way that the industry is, because I'm in the industry, and I literally get to teach that. And it is so rewarding. I literally cannot put the words to express it of how impactful it is.
I can tell. No, you can just it's palpable. You can feel the passion and the energy around it.
I love it. I
absolutely
love it.
Like, do you teach also the seniors, like the behind, like, do you teach them how to use a phone or a camera or, any of the technical
Great question.
stuff?
I literally walk in class and I have a ton of lesson plans, and this is not just seniors, any grade level, and I go off what the class is interested in.
Okay.
So if they're like leaning more towards the production side, we go in that direction. Sometimes I want to be on camera. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we have like, I don't know, like, I think I have an interest in like styling. Like they'll be shy to say it. I'm like, oh my God, I love it. Yeah, so we'll go in that direction.
Okay, very cool. So everything's really customized to the group, what they want to learn about,
yes.
and then
there's always like still a outline. So you're going to get in the core subjects and core curriculum. Mm-hmm. But because it is my own business, it allows for flexibility, and it also allows for where the industry is currently. Mm-hmm. So I'm not teaching stuff that's like outdated that people aren't going to use.
Right.
I get a lot of, it's like so fun. I just got this call the other day. They're like, we want to enroll my child because they went for a commercial audition and they thought it was so weird to have a fake family.
Oh, okay. So it kind of can get people familiar with, situations. Yeah, like the fake family or...
Yeah, here's the fake family. Here's
call
mom,
them
dad, brother and sister. Here you go on set.
Yeah.
And like that's pretty foreign.
Yeah.
When you think about it, like that's just kind of like craziness. That goes against like anything we ever teach our kids, stranger danger. Now it's like... There's your mom and dad.
Go give them a hug. Go give them some love. Right.
High five. You're going to eat pizza with them. In fact, you're going to go to a strange place.
Yeah.
On top of it, you're going to play some games with them. Mm-hmm.
That is very true.
So that is honestly kind of, that's a little weird, right?
Yeah.
It's a little weird. So I get calls like that and I'm like, I get it. Like, I relate to that because I work on the other side of it, right? I work in the industry too. So I'm like, oh yeah, you mean, I can even joke back. I'm like, oh yeah, you mean like you don't want me to be your mom in like 2 minutes, right? So I can relate.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so for your daughter, are you kind of priming her to be an on-camera star or behind-the-scenes star? Or does she seem to have any interest in anything?
She does. She really does. I don't know. She's still young. We're figuring it out. I mean, it's honestly completely 100% her decision.
Of course, yeah.
Whatever she wants to do. One of the preschools I work for, she is one of the only kiddos that doesn't come into my class. It's so bad. She's like the one that doesn't get pulled out.
Because she doesn't want to, or does she?
I don't know. I've been keeping it professional, right?
Right.
But I've thought about now, like, kind of putting her in the class. I don't know. Well, that's a whole new thing. How you're the entrepreneur, you're the teacher, but now you're also the mom in the class. That's a lot of it's a lot of hats to
probably
wear.
Similar to what it's like to be the coach's kid. She'll probably be a little harder. Normally it's kind of dynamic when you think about, a kid being on a team where the parent is the coach. They're normally going to be at a higher standard just because you don't want to show favoritism. And so you actually have to like push them a little harder, which then sometimes it's hard for the child because then it's like, why are you treating me so different than everyone else? And it's like, because I have to, because there's
to be fair. And we're going to just see where that goes and where that develops.
So I know both Layla and Ari had callbacks to a similar shoot. So
we'll see. I don't know. She does seem to really like it. She's asked to do it now.
Okay.
But I want it to be 100% what she wants.
Yeah.
I know she loves dance right now, so she loves dance. She definitely likes the acting stuff. I don't know if it's because she's excited about toys or playing with microphones.
She wants to be the triple threat. She wants to be able to dance. She wants to be able to act. You just got to get that singing in there,
Well, I mean, we'll see. TBD.
Okay.
TBD.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll be on the lookout for that.
See
if she's a little superstar.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Excellent. So, we obviously heard of some of your favorite movies, but I know for myself, I really love to listen to Audible books and music. Are there any books or maybe lyrics that really have, given you a lot of great insight or inspiration or education? Any recommendations you would have?
I'm going to go deep here, which I think maybe this is where it was going. I'm going to just keep it really simple and lay it out on 2 books, The Giving Tree.
Okay, yeah.
And The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
Oh, what? Okay.
That's like right there, I'm reading it kind of on the nightly now, but beautiful children's books you can relate to, right? They're so beautiful.
Okay, go deeper into The Hungry Caterpillar. I can see The Giving Tree. That one, linear, I can see. But tell me more behind the philosophy with the Hungry Caterpillar.
It's a simple story about coming from nothing and then turning into the butterfly, right? And being consistent.
And don't be a glutton in between. Or else you're going to get a tummy ache.
I like a really good children's book.
Okay.
And then I also like reading about Diane Sawyer. I always have.
Okay. I never would have thought of the Very Hungry Caterpillar so deep. But, yeah.
It's a good book, right? Yeah. Simple. And I've always liked The Giving Tree.
Okay.
Those have been some of my favorites. I do listen to podcasts, but I got to be honest. When I need a break and I'm by myself in the car, I'm probably jamming out to some old school hip hop or some good music.
Nice.
I'm trying to decompress, right?
No, that is true. I do love listening to stuff, learning and everything.
Yeah.
But when you need to just those moments, whether it's the glass of wine or it's, music is the way to do it and just
music,
jam.
I just want to honestly chill out and take a few seconds for me.
Mm-hmm. As you're supposed to. They say you should put your oxygen mask on first. You do need to replenish yourself if you're going to keep giving. They talk about if you have a cup that's only so full, you're always giving onto others. Well, then if you never take the time to refill it, you will have nothing left to give.
Yeah, it'll be completely empty.
Yeah.
We want the glass full.
And to stay full, or even if it's at half, you want to always be, I think, that little bit of that give and take. I don't know if it always needs to be full, because then what are you really giving out into others? I think it's like if you stay at half all the time, that means you're always kind of giving, always receiving a little bit, you're at half. Oh.
Yeah. I think honestly too, I don't know if a mom's glass is ever full, right? You were asking about that earlier. I don't, maybe we're gonna pull some more moms, but I don't think I know of one mom I've talked to who's like, oh, my glass is full. I'm doing great over here. There's so much to give. Would you like to,
That's a good point.
I don't think so.
No, I would probably agree with that. Just thinking about other moms I know, because it's just, we're always pushed and pulled from one practice to making dinners to preparing for, the next day to whatever all the things are that the duration of time to really recharge isn't always there. Yeah,
even you're juggling. I feel it's a constant like juggle, right?
Yeah.
I think more than anything, we're like the people with the pitcher just like pouring it at everyone else's glass. Right?
So what are some things that you would do to be able to refill that glass cup? What are some suggestions?
Oh, a good girl's trip. Travel. Travel like fills my soul.
Okay, so where would be the ideal girls trip? Where are we going?
Oh my gosh, where are we not going? Well, lately I'm on a cruise thing. I just got back from a cruise. I've always liked cruising.
You like going, getting really sick, and then don't.
We'll leave that part out, right? Put that on the edit floor. I've always liked cruising. I mean, Europe. How much time do I have?
Yeah, just keep it going.
Europe. We went as a family to Hawaii. That was amazing. I don't know, anything where you can, feel a little more culture and spice of life and do something different out of your comfort zone. I think that's always cool.
And good food,
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, every good trip, any event,
yes.
I always base it on the food. If it's good food, then we're talking.
Yeah, well, food brings people together.
It does, yes.
That was, as a host, that was such a fun job. I was a co-host and we had a food show. So we went all over the valley and enjoyed all the cool food and talked about what they were doing for Arizona.
Nice.
They were bringing the community together, and I thought that was just so cool because it really does. Food bonds people, right? Mm-hmm. Food starts conversation.
Yeah, and food is just a nice insight into someone's culture because you can literally taste it. Like you taste the difference in spices, whether you're eating an Italian dish or an Indian dish.
So I'm putting this out there, so I guess I'm going to be held to it.
All right.
My idea, no one can take it. I have always, if we're talking about goals, right? Mm-hmm. I have always wanted to write a little children's book.
Oh, and you're talking about how you love little kid books.
Yes. And it would be Everyone Loves Rice. So it's about different cultures all over.
And they're different rices.
Yes. So that has been something that I wanted to do my whole life.
Okay.
It is on my bucket list. So if we're talking like 30-year plan or whatnot, I said I would do it when I had a kid. So fun fact. And we're talking about food. So it seemed very organic to bring it up in this direction.
I love that idea. I love the diversity aspect. Mm-hmm. I loved, everyone loves rice. There's so many different rices from so many different parts of the world. I can see it being a beautiful, I literally see
like you
the
see
beautiful
it, right? Like you see like the
of
visual.
The book.
Yes. Like I can like literally visually see it.
So where would be more at? Do you
too.
like drawing? Do you just like writing?
I love
storytelling
art. Or I'm like, I'm very I've always been pretty artistic and creative.
Okay, so you'll be the illustrator and author?
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of fun to do with my parents maybe. Like I don't know. We haven't developed it.
Let Aria color them in?
Maybe she could do it. She loves art too, but
you do the outline sketch. You let her color it in, make it a whole family affair.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the specifics of it, but I can tell you I've always wanted to do that.
Okay.
That is on my bucket list.
Awesome.
So if we're talking like the 30-year plan.
James is claiming he wants to be an author. So if you're looking for a child author input.
He's hired.
There you go. Yeah. And if you need publishers, let me know. I do know people who help self-publish.
That would be cool. That's something I've always been passionate about too, and I think it brings everything together. So
yeah, that'd be so cool. I really do love that idea. Yeah. I love I could see just traveling around the world. You could even I would want to look at it, but I feel like you could get away with it making like an ABC kind of book because Arroz. You could start with that and then kind of go through
and pull out lessons. So you're incorporating like geography. You're incorporating language skills. Cultural lessons, social studies. I mean, it literally, the list goes on and on. So.
Yeah, no, I see it. It's a book where you have like the main large prompt text when you don't want to make it a short story, but then you have all like the little nuances for like to put information for like when the kids get older and want to learn more.
Diversity. All
right, let's do this. You heard it first. We're doing this. I just want to like be part of it somehow just to make it happen because I want to buy the book because I can just see it being such a gorgeous book. Even though. Probably by then, Layla will know the ABCs and the kids will already be a little bit older, but I'll still get them books. It's going to be pretty.
That's something I've always wanted to do. So
okay.
We were organic to bring that up. We were talking about food and how food brings conversation. Mm-hmm. You also asked about, I was mentioning I like little kids books. So there you go.
So much synergy there. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can just see it. I already see the launch party. We're going to be throwing rice balls at you like it's your wedding again. You know, it's going to be fabulous. It's going to be great. So to stay.
You see the vision.
I really do.
See the vision.
I'm not even kidding. No, I do see the vision. We're going to drone over. There's going to be rice flying from all different directions. We're going to dye. So it's going to be rainbow colored rice because we're going to dye it from different rice. So it's going to look like a rainbow's going over all the crowd.
Diversity and oh man.
It's going to be epic. So to stay tuned and know when this amazing book's getting released, as well as all the courses for Stay Classy Academy, just to know everything about you, where are you most active online? Where can people stay connected? We'll have all the links on the show notes, but please also verbally let us know.
So if you want to find out about me at all, or where Stay Classy TV or Stay Classy TV Academy is, I have websites for both. StayClassyTV.com, that's more the business side. And then I have Stay Classy TV Academy, which is all the education and coaching side. Also social media at Stay Classy TV. And you can always call 480-269-2226. Love hearing from anyone. Feel free to email Lisa at StayClassyTV. You can find me. If you look me up somewhere, you will find me. Yeah. And I will answer back.
Excellent, excellent. So, be willing to make mistakes, explore, have more fun in life, and stay classy.
Stay classy.
Thank you for watching Tales with Taylor. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the Financial Potion YouTube channel to never miss an episode.